The audio sync is fine. No problem whatsoever. Okay. I'm Chris.
And I'm Dave.
And we are here to do another top 5 list. And we are talking about the top 5 games that we would do differently. Is that how you'd word it?
Yes. Yeah.
These are 5 games that if we had some control over them, and we don't. This is armchair quarterbacking.
Yeah.
In the extreme. I'm just.
We're the parents on the sidelines saying, "Put my kid in."
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's right. Mm.
No, I'm the guy watching the game, just jumping up, going, "That's a bad play, ref. What are you doing? Can't you see?"
The better one would be we're the people watching that horror movie going, "Do not go in that room." Or don't go into the woods. Or don't go into the woods by yourself.
Now, funnily enough, is that we go into the woods, we go into the dark rooms all the time in our lives. We just never... It's like, unless you're aware, like in Scream, you're aware that you're in a horror film.
Yeah.
But, like, I do stupid stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I hear noises, I go downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Turns out it is nothing. Yep. Because this doesn't happen in real life.
Exactly.
Right?
All right.
So anyway, this is top 5. So some of these are like, well, I would do this completely differently. Mm-hmm. But most of them, because they're games I by a majority like, these are just like, you're 95% there.
Correct.
That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, good. All right. First of all, you actually jumped there. You just jumped the gun, so it's almost like... you seen that computer that can win at rock, paper, scissors every time, 100%?
No.
Because it can analyze what you're going to do and then instantly beat you. And even though it looks like it's doing it instantly, but it's not. It's like a millisecond behind you, so it knows what you're doing, so it can pick up what you're doing and it'll beat you every time. All right. So my number 5 is a game that you absolutely adore, Grim Forest.
What
is that the reason why you didn't back Tidal Blades? Is that done with the same people who did Grim Forest?
No, I just didn't feel like there was enough game for Tidal Blades.
Seems like there's quite a bit. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, I
what would you do differently? Lower price point?
Well, the game for its production value, I think the game is actually quite good.
Except for the price point.
No, I mean, how much is it? $60.
It's $60 for like a $40 game.
It's 40. You can make it $40. I think with the miniatures and production value, it's a $60 game. It's just it has the gameplay of a $40 game wrapped in a $60 package because of the production value. You don't need the troll miniature or the dragon miniatures. They have never seen the light because they only come out because of one card, just for giggles.
Yeah.
I would remove the take that element. That's my thing. It is such a happy Cloy game, and it seems to be such. It almost seems to be a borderline family game, something you play with your kids because of the artwork and so forth. But then it has this bizarre level of take that, which almost seems... there are other games, like we played Mage Academy. Mage Academy is a wonderful little game, but it has this brutal take that, where it's like, deny someone else a turn. I'm like, boy. Comes to the point that, like, Cole, my fiance, for both of those games, wants me to remove those cards. We did the same thing with... Stuffed. There's about 12 of the 40 adventure cards are really mean. So we literally remove them out of the deck because she doesn't like take that mechanics. She understands some level of competitive. I'm grabbing this so you can't. I'm doing this maneuver, which alters your strategy.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. But literally, like, I have done something which you cannot prevent and now I've screwed you. She dislikes that, and Grim Forest has that for some reason. And that's what I would do. I would remove the take that from Grim Forest, but I honestly wouldn't change anything else. So that's my number 5, Grim Forest, removing take that.
All right.
Number 5.
So my number 5 is, I don't think it's a game you've played, probably.
I haven't played a lot.
Heroes of Normandy. Now, I love this game, and... no. I thought you were putting it on a sale counter, just like... Table flip.
You're right. I have not played that game.
My problem with the game...
I'm sure you're wrong. No, I'm joking.
The problem I have with the game is that it is overwhelming for someone to get into because there's so much information on the units and the board but really when you break it down, it's not that complex. They just wanted to have all the information in front of you and not like in a sheet you had to look at. So there was just like information plastered all over the terrain and stuff.
And you kind of wish it was like, clear that off, give us the card.
Yeah.
So your alteration is simply a production issue.
Correct.
So Grim Forest, I said, if Grim Forest was $40, would you like it anymore? I think you just like it still, don't you?
I just don't find there's much of a game there.
Okay. I guess if it's a $30 game, you can forgive it for not having much game.
Correct.
So once again, what's the price point of Grim Forest where you would accept it for its level of game?
Anywhere between 30 and 40.
So if it was like in the price range of Century Spice Road.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So no miniatures then, just the cards.
Yeah, because I mean you don't use the miniatures.
Yeah, miniatures are there. You could have wooden toggles, wooden tokens, or little standees.
And I mean the big thing that cheesed me off about that game was because I actually backed it, and what held up the production was the trays, and actually that was the game really that got
game trays
going.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, you delayed the game to basically
make the unboxing that much more interesting.
Yes.
I'll tell you, the unboxing Gazette, I love unboxing that game. But I did not know what I was expecting when I unboxed that game. So we're like, wow. And, but you're like, boy, we waited 4 months for that. For 5 minutes of, ooh.
Well, and that's it. And the problem I had with that one, too, is just like, we played the game, and I was just like, there's more game here than this, isn't there? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, so I'll amend mine and say, I'll grant that. It is a game that should be $40. So that would be my other thing, a production reduce. I'll say as I say for Grim Forest, I would say, yeah, take that, but then also I would decrease production quality to decrease the price point down because it is a $40 game. You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it grab supplies, build a house.
I like the house plastic though.
Yeah, I do too.
That is a physical gameplay element because you are building the house from the ground up.
Yeah.
So I would keep that, but you could take those miniatures all out and drop the game by at least $15.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, you were saying Arrows of Normandy. We went off topic. Well,
no, that was pretty much it. Just reduce the amount of clutter, and unfortunately, you're never going to see anything like that because Devil Pig Games was one of the board game companies that filed for bankruptcy this year.
One of them.
There's actually been quite a few. Did you actually know Capcom, totally off topic, but Capcom Vancouver shut its doors?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That blows.
Yeah.
So, number 4, for me, there's a game called Lost Legends.
I feel like I know that one, but I don't.
It's done by Queen Games. There's a whole story behind Queen Games. And now, the original guy who designed a couple good games, I can't remember his name, but he's done a few games. He's an American. Queen Games is not American. Mm-hmm. And he did it for Queen Games, and he wanted to do a card-based dungeon delve. Mm-hmm. Right? You'd have a full character, you would draft equipment, and then you guys would dive into a dungeon map. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a good idea. It's a good mechanic. There were certain things that Queen Games and the playtesters forced into the game that sucks. One is that there's no catch-up mechanic, which means if you screw up early in the game, you might as well just walk out because you're never catching up. And that's brutally punishing. Now, that's a homebrew. That was part of like, how would I homebrew rules? This one is the fact that the Bloodborne card game, Bloodborne, the card game, I always say the Bloodborne card game. It's not. It's Bloodborne, the card game, has the exact same thing. The exact same kind of game where you're dungeon delving into a deck of cards, no physical map. And both of these games are competitive, and I don't know why. Bloodborne actually has. It scores points, you're getting things. But there's something bizarre about how Lost Legends does it. And Lost Legends, I'm thinking, I have not seen a cooperative card-based dungeon delve like these games. These two games are very similar. Both of them are competitive, and I wish one of them was co-op. I went for Lost Legends because it has the most character development. You actually build characters.
Yeah.
Right? Bloodborne has none. You're literally your character card is a point tracker. That's it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing there to gain out of co-op. But Lost Legends should be co-op. And that's my issue. Now, beyond the fact that the homebrew rules do make it better, if you use the unofficial rules where he actually says, maybe I'll do it. He never did. He never did post a variant rules. But Lost Legends, which is not a bad game, which got completely buried because the rules as printed aren't very good, probably should have been co-op. And I think if people would still be talking about Lost Legends today if it was a cooperative game. As it is, no one talks about Lost Legends anymore. So that's my number 4, Lost Legends. He should have made a pure co-op game.
Okay. So my next one is again. It's kind of no. It's just these two are the only that follow the theme. So this is another company that, due to bad things that happened to it, it went out of business, or at least that branch of it went out of business. And it's Catalyst Games Labs is the company, and the game is called Leviathans.
Oh, I know this one.
Yep.
I think it's because you've mentioned it.
Yep. So this is a
famous story.
Yep.
Which nobody knows, but
yeah, it's so basically
like the designs were like their models, the miniatures were basically ransomed, like the extortion, basically.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the company who designed their models eventually said, no, we're not going to give you the mold, so have fun. And basically, it is a steampunk naval air combat game, which was quite interesting for the simple fact that they actually they tried to make it appealing for a lot of different people because there's different levels of difficulty. There's lieutenant, captain, and admiral difficulties. Mm-hmm. And each one had its own different set of rules. So each one changed the game, making it either harder or more complex, however you wanted.
Right.
What I would do differently is don't make that mistake and try and get this game back into print because it really had a lot of potential.
But that's not really a like I was always saying our list would be enclosed to what's inside the box, not a economics management issue.
Yeah,
because you didn't you have that on the list of games that you would
wanted to reprint?
Yeah, it's basically for the same reason.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah. So that was my number 4.
My number 3 is a very popular game called Near and Far. Near and Far, I didn't have it wasn't an argument. I had a conversation when I posted my Dice Tower review, which you can find on the Dice Tower. And in my Dice Tower review, I had mentioned that the game has this great story, this wonderful narrative flow line. There's this giant book that you can read all your story points to it. And the game's mechanics, in my opinion, get in the way of experiencing the story.
Yes.
You can beat Near and Far. Not just play and then finish the game. Win the game. Without encountering the story. Mm-hmm. Then they came out with an Amber Minds expansion. And the vast majority of Amber Minds gives you more functionality and more game and more reasons to avoid the story. And I was like, why? Like, my fiance and I love this game, and we love it dearly. It's one of our favorite games. I think, spoilers, I think it's going to be our favorite game when we do that list. Probably in the top 5, easily in the top 5, maybe even number 1. And yet, the one problem I have with it is the fact that there's too much game. There's too many things in there. So I would modify the game, Near and Far, so you're more compelled to encounter the story. Mm-hmm. Or I would make it pure co-op. And now there's a cooperative version in Amber Minds, but I wouldn't say it's forced in, but you literally have to play through the game competitively until the end and then do co-op because it's set in the last map.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I would say Near and Far has a great narrative, more narrative, or at least there's enough narrative, but create a set of rules that made people, and when the argument that went online was the fact that there was a conversation apparently in the Kickstarter forums about the players who wanted more gameplay and less of an emphasis on narrative. And I don't know why, but apparently there was a compromise about how much game to put in, how much narrative put in. And so what I heard is Ryan Lockhart?
Lockhart, yeah.
Yeah. Had more narrative encouragement, and it was the fan feedback that dialed it back to make it more game. And I wish he hadn't listened to them. I wish this game was... I wish there was... I think every player shouldn't have 3 to 4 narrative encounters per game. But literally, I've played Near and Far where I have 1.
Yeah.
And if I have a whole bunch, I've denied Nicole to have hers. Because there's only like 8 or 9, so if I go through 5 or 6, she's only going to have 3.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my thing about Near and Far. More story.
Yeah.
You're number 3.
Number 3 is Forbidden Sky.
You just got that.
I
literally, you showed me the image of it like 2 days ago.
Game.
I would time cop the hell out of it and just erase it out of history. No, I'm kidding.
In some cases, it was a game that I got because I love the series.
Yeah, it's a good series. Personally, I think it has its own mechanical flaws that it's dependent on. But go on.
Yeah, the problem I have with that game is, and many people have already said this, so it's not like I'm, making up something new here, is it's fiddly. And really, the one thing I would have changed in that game that would possibly make it better, I don't know if it would appease everybody, but art would be better. Make the art better. And then...
Yeah, the art style, the production design of the ship is cool.
Yeah. But
the actual cards and all that are pretty bland. Yeah,
and why could they not have just made so you take the actual connections between the actual... So the wires, instead of making them the hard plastic... Why couldn't they have actually made it wire with 2 magnets on either end? It would have looked so much cooler. Yeah. You would have actually had wires all over. That would have been freaking cool. That's all they would have had to do, and it would have been so much better. I look at the plastic wires, and it was just like...
Are there magnets in the production?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's plastic, and then it's got magnets at either end. I'm like, well, just take the plastic out of the way and make it a wire, an actual wire, put magnets on the either end of the wire, and... boom, Bob's your uncle, it looks better. Otherwise, it's like, yeah. That's kind of sad looking.
So another production change. You like the rules of the game?
Because
some people have been going after the rules as well.
There's been a lot of people going after the rules, but I take a look at it as it really isn't all that different from any of the other Forbidden games. The rules in those games...
Well, Forbidden Desert is just a more complicated version of Forbidden Island,
and this is just a more complicated version of Forbidden Desert.
I don't know. Forbidden Desert feels like it's enough for me. Like there's a lot going in Forbidden.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying that's all that is.
Which also made Forbidden Desert more difficult than Forbidden Island. Is Forbidden Sky more difficult?
That's what I found odd. I won Forbidden Desert more than I won Forbidden Island.
I've lost Forbidden Island once. I've lost Forbidden Desert 4 or 5 times.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you sure you're playing the rules fairly, not playing by Will Wheaton's rules?
No.
Because he played that game wrong.
No, I'm playing it right. Yeah. So that would be some production changes, and I mean, really, honestly, the rules. Yeah, I'm not surprised that it's harder.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how much hate it's getting.
Yes.
Oh, we watched and I'm sorry guys, but I showed the wife the Dice Tower video, and she's listening to the Dice Tower video, and she's like, holy crap, why do we buy this game? She hasn't even played it.
Which is funny. You watch the video, there's a lot of the people defending it, except for Garcia. Z went after it. He's just like, I don't know what you guys talking about. This game's bad.
Yeah. Well, no, even Tom said it had issues, too.
Yeah, it had issues, but he's more forgivable. If you want a game to suck in Tom Vassal's eyes, you really got to drop the ball. Yeah. He won't approve you, but he'll find a way to defending it.
But he said it was 1 thumb down, so he didn't approve it.
Oh, yeah. In the end, they went... It was a shock, because usually when they do a Miami Dice, it's almost always... I've never seen them crap on a game on Miami Dice.
I know, this was
one of the things where like, oh, this is going to be fun. We got to do this together.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and when I watched that, I was just like, wow, that sucks. I mean, I
skipped it. At that review, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was just... Yeah, that would be my number 3.
My number 2. Isn't it weird that I actually haven't played this game? And I'm not saying, I haven't played this game, but this is how I would change it, because that seems arrogant, because like, you haven't played it, how would you know? The reason why I haven't played it is because of this issue.
Okay.
That's a game that I freaking can't wait to play. I kickstarted, I actually own, I'm waiting for the expansion. You own it, which is Gia. I love the idea of Gia.
I always get confused because I call it Zaya.
Gia.
Well, no, see, when you say Gia, I'm thinking you're referring to Gaia Project.
But it's Gaia Project, not Gia Project.
Well, see, that's bad.
So Gia or Jaya.
Zaya.
I can't wait to play it. And it looks fun. I love the idea of the sandbox game. I love the space exploration and all that. But I wish there was more automation so you can play it with fewer people. Yes. Like, 3 people, you have to add basically 2 robots,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And
I've actually played it with more than 5.
by 5 people?
Yeah, I've had like 6 or 7 people playing, and we just ended up homebrewing the rules. We had like... It was an epic game. It was,
oh, yeah.
It
Just
was...
complete chaos.
Well, yeah, but it was awesome.
Going back to what we're saying about, and maybe as another roundtable for me, one of the things that, like for you, very different play group, the fact that for me, as a mandatory of every game I have to buy, if you don't do 2 players, you're not on my list.
Yeah.
I will not back it because I just... Games that are 3+ players, or having a bit 4+ players, I will never buy anymore because we can never find a way to bring them to the table.
You bring them to my table.
I know that, but trying to get my fiance out of the house is... But as a result, that's been the issue. God knows I'd love to play Gia at your place when you have a nice big epic group, but he was like, well, okay, come by at 2 o'clock. We've been playing for a while. But the issue is, of course, is once again, like playing with Nicole, she's like, don't you dare end this game early. I want to do this. I may lose, but I want to do this. Right? But that's the thing about Gia, is that I wish there was some way. I wish they can combine Gia with like Near and Far, where it's like you can do your own voyage and own story, and you don't have to interact with anybody. So just play the game. But the game was just like, no, it's 3+, and you want to interact with other people because there's something. I was like, you know what? Create some system that makes that game more automated. I'm a kind of, like I said, as a result, I haven't touched the game. I've owned it for a year. I have not touched it. I'm waiting for the expansion. I'm going to learn the game because apparently the expansion does make the game better.
Yeah.
And we're just going to muscle it, fight it through. Maybe we'll get a 4-player game going, but probably Nicole and I will find a way to make it work with 2 people. So
I think you could probably do 2 and then just include the 2 NPCs.
2 of the NPCs are just, and do our own thing. And there's like, once every cycle or so, we're like, oh, hey, Nicole, bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's my number 2. I wish that it had more content for 2 players.
Fair enough. All right.
Number 2.
My number 2 is, I've already mentioned this before, and part of, I was actually excited to see that they did do something different, but so I still left it on my list, though, because I wanted it sooner, was Battlestar Galactica. I actually wanted it to be the miniatures. Like a miniature space game. I did see there is now a miniature Battlestar Galactica one. I'm just like,
your wish has been granted.
Wish has been granted. So, but I still left it on the list because it was just like it took too long. Because now when you bring up that particular iteration of Battlestar, people are just like, oh, that's so passé. That was like what 2005. That's so 2005. It's like, shut up. Like, I'm sorry, 13 years ago is no longer cool.
Someone came into the store asking for Globetrotters.
That's like the 80s.
Yeah.
I think my parents have a copy of that.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever been reprinted.
No.
And she was asking for that game. I'm like,
but that's another. But
good luck.
Bringing up that Battlestar Galactica, the actual one that exists, has not been reprinted. It's out of print.
But you can get it, though, easily. I think it's... No?
No, you try and get it now, and the expansions you can find usually on like eBay for like $300.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's your number 2.
That was my number 2.
I actually don't understand what your number 2 is. Like, your number 2 is...
I wanted the miniatures. I wanted the miniatures game, not the betrayal mechanic.
Yeah, so your thing is that you would have retooled the entire core experience of the entire Battlestar Galactica game to be a miniature game, which you're getting anyway.
Finally.
Okay. So number 1. Oh, he wins. No, no, I rock smashes. I still win.
That's right.
My number 1. I wish I had a knife. Just stamp it down.
I know which one it is.
What is it?
It's gonna be Who Goes There.
No. Although, okay, Who Goes There was extremely... Like, Who Goes There was like 6.
Yeah, but you realize someone like emailed you like, stop shitting on this game.
I probably will, because my stuff review criticized... Just made a passing thought about Who Goes There, and someone says, I will not address your criticism of Who Goes There. It's like, oh, whatever. That video has more likes and dislikes, so I know some people agree with me. I think it's because I wanted to tweak good games I enjoy already.
Yes.
And Who Goes There I have to enjoy
first.
I have to enjoy it as a home brewing, right?
Yep.
So I don't want to tweak the core game because that would be me trying to impose my homebrew mentality. As it is, I don't know how to make Who Goes There better. and still keep that experience. What I do with my homebrew rules is I create a game that doesn't exist. I create a survival horror game set in the snow where monsters attack. It's not the thing.
Yeah.
It's just another, you could call it Mountains of Madness or some kind of Cthulhu game. It fits perfectly. But it's not Who Goes There. It's not a thing game. I honestly don't know whether or not you could do a thing game mechanically without tweaking and breaking the system and going, okay, it's not really the thing, but it'll fit, which is what Outpost 31 does. It's not the thing, but it's close enough. Who Goes There is not the thing, but it's close enough. I don't think you can do a pure thing experience. So I don't know how to fix Who Goes There and still have it be the thing. I think these companies jumped on the Thing franchise and didn't think, oh yeah, betrayal mechanic. How do we do that? I don't know.
But by the same token,
you have Infection of Outpost 31 removes the idea of players affecting other players. Who Goes There had it and did it badly.
Yeah, see, I think though you would get the Thing experience in Infection of Outpost 31 with a larger group.
Yeah, which it potentially.
Because that's experience I have.
No. I'm not talking about how good the game is. I'm talking
about
Infection of Outpost 31, you can't infect someone else, which is a core tenet of the Thing TV series, of the Thing movie, and you can't do that in Infection. Infection's a good game, but it had to compromise the IP in order to make that game work. Right? Because Infection has literally, you can homebrew a rule where you put it in, but it doesn't change the fact that that rule isn't in the game. You get infected on the side, nobody can do it for you. Right? So that's the first thing. Her Dark Moon, though, is still better. Everyone's like, well, let's just play Dark Moon, which is fine. Let's play Dark Moon. No, I say after all of that, snip. I might just keep that in. I don't care. I was Gloomhaven.
Oh.
No, at the end of the day, I think the bigger the game it is, the more I get a little annoyed that it's 95% there. Grim is 95% there. Lost Legends is about 80% there. Near and Far is 95. Gia is 95. Gloomhaven is 95. But it's such a big 5%. When you're dealing with a million and you're 95% there, that 5% is a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that if Gloomhaven wants to get the mantle of perfect game, it needs to remove its secrecy and loot rules.
Yes.
Rules that very few people play anyway, so you shouldn't have had it in the first place. So that's what I would do. I would play the game the way everyone else plays. I would have Gloomhaven, and I would simply have that rule. I know we're going back into our favorite homebrew rules, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to what the top 10 list is, games we would have done differently. Yeah. If I was in that playtest, if I was a designer, and I had some say, I would be like, take that loot rule and that privacy system out. The game works fine without it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody goes, no, we're keeping that in. It's like, listen to your fans. Because I bet you they're saying that and you're ignoring them.
Yep.
Take that secrecy rules out. You're not a betrayal mechanic. You don't have secret agendas. Or you can have secret agendas, but they're not really affecting the game. So take it out.
Yeah, because the common thing I get with that one is, and this is even mentioned the other night, was someone was just like, well, I didn't get my scenario goal. They're like, why didn't you tell us what it was you were trying to accomplish?
Because the game told me not to.
Yeah. Well, I was just lazy, but because we actually make our goals open. It's just I didn't be. That was my issue with Time. This is what it was.
That was my issue with Time Story, because Time Story, the first time we played Time Story, we lost badly because nobody really knew how secretive the game wanted us to be.
Yeah.
So they were keeping too much, and I was getting angry because they're like, I wasn't supposed to tell you. It's like, you are. We have this like connection, but what does that mean? Like, I literally, the entire game, no one fully understood what the game meant. Because secrecy in cooperative games, no one fully understands. I guess I could. Can I tell them when we're playing a Pandemic? Can I tell them I have this card? Like technically not, but why not?
You know, there's a good
I
game.
Don't get it.
There's a game that does it well, and that is Room 21.
Isn't that Escape
Room 25? Room 25. Basically, you're all trying to escape from. You've seen the movie Cube, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Vincenzo Natali, great Canadian movie. Go watch it.
Yeah. So basically, same idea. You're in Cube. It's a survival, and it's all live broadcast. These are all prisoners that are trying to get out of this prison. When you go into
and do you have to solve factors of primes?
No, but when you look at a room though, you can't tell the rest of your team what that room is specifically, but you can tell them either if it's safe, a hazard, or something like that. So it does handle the secrecy part, so you're just kind of like, oh, okay, so he didn't say that was safe, but he also didn't say that we're gonna die instantly.
The only time I ever have characters being secret is if we're playing D&D and they're quite literally not in the same room.
Yeah.
I'll pass little notes and call it down. But the moment they're together, players, they interact all the time, and I don't like games saying you can't if you're cooperating.
Yeah.
So, what's your number one?
Number one, XCOM. And I'll tell you why. This one it would be a complete revamp of the game because the game does not capture the essence of what XCOM is, which is...
Well, what element? The base
building, researching, and then, going out and doing the missions.
It's interesting how the XCOM game gives you the base building but doesn't give you the actual combat.
It doesn't really give you the base building, though.
No?
No, it doesn't.
But it gives you, you're the commander sending out missions and maintaining that. But it was kind of like This War of Mine, where they focused the entire thing on the home and then completely didn't focus on the night at all, outside of just drawing cards, even though 80% of the game is you going out at night and being skillful and scavenging.
Well, that's the thing, and that was, with XCOM, one of the biggest parts of that was, upgrading your gear and then going on the missions and finding new and strategic ways to complete the missions without killing your crew, or your men, because you became very attached to your soldier. You don't care in the XCOM game they built now. You don't give two shits about what happens to your guys. It's like, oh, we ran out of guys. Better recruit some more. Oh, we don't have enough money. Oh, someone better figure that out when we come around to get more money. It's a good game, but it's not the game I want. I want really the XCOM experience as a board game. So that's my number one.
That'd be hard.
It'd be hard, but it would be so awesome. I think it's doable.
Oh, we're going to see that on the other list? Anyway. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so going over the list again, my number 5 is Grim Forest. Take that. 4, Lost Legends, make it full co-op. Nier 4, more narrative. Number 2, Gia, more automation for playing with 2 players. And Gloomhaven, removing secrecy and loot rules.
Alright, so my number 5 was Heroes of Normandy, make it simpler so you're not overwhelmed. Number 4, Leviathans, just reprint the game and yeah. Number 3, Forbidden Sky, production quality. Get rid of the plastic wires, make them actual wires. Not that hard. And also get better art. Number 2, Battlestar Galactica. I wanted the actual miniatures and actual combat, which is coming.
Anyway.
And XCOM, make it like the actual game, not just
a part of it.
Just a part of it. Yeah.
Okay, so I have been Chris.
And I've been Dave.
You lost it. You lost it. It's too late. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's over. You didn't say it. You didn't say it. It's over.
Yeah.
That's it.